The presentation you're about to hear is focused on starting an action towards progress, focused on the urban heat island effect. Let me now introduce Wynn Flint. She's going to give the presentation. Wynn?
Howdy. I'm Wynn Flint. I live at 205 10th Street. I'm Wynn Flint. I live at 205 10th Street. Whoop. Just starting this here. I'm hoping you'll be able to see it. Oh, super. Okay. The Sustainability Council pays particular attention to issues that affect New England, that affect urban areas, or are particularly dangerous. In the past year, we have learned some disturbing facts about heat in cities. In particular, we have learned about the critical situation in the Lower Highlands. Our work shows it is the hottest neighborhood in the city by far. This is of great concern because extreme heat is more deadly than all other extreme weather, and seniors are at most risk. This map is the crux of our work, and I'll give you a moment to find your neighborhood. In order from hottest to coolest: Lower Highlands, Downtown, Lower Belvedere, the Acre, Sacred Heart, the Highlands, Centerville, Belvedere, Pawtucketville, and South Lowell. A few years ago, the city did a hazard mitigation plan, and it focused heavily on flooding. This makes sense for a city that has 2 rivers, several canals, and a number of creeks. However, the main concern with flooding is property damage, while extreme heat kills people. We all know that it's getting hotter. Cities are hotter than surrounding areas due to the presence of impervious surfaces like asphalt and concrete, which retain heat, and the lack of tree canopy, which provides shade. We have provided you with a link to a report produced last year by the local activist group 350 Mass that does a deep dive on the hows and whys of the dangers of extreme heat. Today, though, we want to focus on what this means for Lowell neighborhoods. The report packet in front of you that you were supposed to have today uses almost 19,000 data points to identify the hotspots in Lowell. It was not 200 or even 2,000, but almost 19,000. These numbers do not lie, exaggerate, or have opinions. They highlight the issue in red and white. The analysis by our group was accomplished using publicly available data, detailed, comprehensive, and some of it is surprising. At this point, I want to give a shout out to the members of the council, Greg Studwell and Anna Christina Fragosa, one a GIS analyst and the other a geotechnical engineer who did the extensive number crunching. They used publicly available data sources that are commonly used in urban planning departments. Included in your packet were maps, spreadsheets, charts, a short presentation on cooling options other than trees, which I'll show today, it's about 5 slides, and a fuller written description of cooling options other than trees. This is a lot to absorb. I will tell you that. So, we thought that the best way to get through this was by doing a quick walk through the map and then showing a few slides of our cooling options. Trees are typically a preferred go-to solution to provide cooling and shade, but this is not always possible in urban environments. Okay, here we have 3 maps. Today we will focus on the larger map where the redder it is, the hotter it is. The other maps detail the amount of tree canopy and amount of impervious surfaces. Those are areas that do not absorb water and contribute to heat. On the larger map, there are 5 levels of heat severity, from lightest red of 1, meaning least warm, to darkest red of level 5, meaning hottest. The levels are based on what's average for a city's normal summer temperature. Level 1 for Phoenix, for example, would be higher than the one for Lowell. The heat severity range is relative to an average and not absolute values. The data used also indicates the amount of area of a neighborhood that is designated a heat island and at what severity. For example, 71% of a neighborhood may be designated a heat island, but most of the impacted acre has a severity of 1, while another neighborhood may only be 50% heat island with a total of 30% at level 3. This would be of more concern than the earlier one mentioned, with 70% of its area being heat island. It is this type of neighborhood with the higher absolute severity that we are asking the council to address. These are a lot of numbers to process, but we need to explain them in order to give context and nuance from the analysis. We have found that not all neighborhoods are created equal. Tree canopy ranges from 13% to 48%. Impervious surface ranges from 27% to 75%. Combined, the amount of area of a neighborhood that can be considered a heat island ranges from 17%, which is South Lowell, to 99.7% for Lowell Highlands. I just want to point that out. That's essentially 100%.
Just a reminder to the speaker, we have a 5-minute rule,
Oh, okay,
and there's like about 35 seconds left.
okay. Let me just jump real last to the end. Do I have time for the 5-minute presentation? Okay. Where are we? Okay, here is an example of in New York. The city government has painted over 10 million roofs since 2009, and that's a cooling option. Here are 3 examples of permeable pavement. It's cooler than asphalt or concrete and has the added benefit of absorbing water, which helps prevent flooding or CSO issues. These are examples of providing greenery in a small footprint. The streetscape in Italy may seem far-fetched, but it's not uncommon to see such grape arbors in the Portuguese sections of Lowell. Playground equipment in the summer can be so hot it burns kids. This makes it possible to have a cooling outdoor space. This makes it impossible to have a cooling outdoor space. These commercial shade structures are one cooling solution for playgrounds. This is a portable mister used in European tourist areas and at the Tokyo Olympics. And then the last one. This last slide shows a dangerous situation you see in the summer. Illegal hydrant use dropped the water pressure during Chicago's heat wave of the 90s, causing the surrounding areas to lose water. The New York Fire Department solved this problem by providing spray caps to community members that still provide cooling but at a safe pressure. Okay. I think I've used up all my time.
Thank you.